He entered a high-end boutique only to be regarded as a living offense. Darius Cole courteously extended his hand toward a timepiece, and the proprietor struck his hand aside as though he were contamination polluting their display case. "You lack the means to inhale this atmosphere," the man scoffed, commanding security to escort him outside while patrons chuckled and devices recorded. They ridiculed his attire, his appearance, his very being, convinced that degradation was his sole value. Yet the following day, reality obliterates everything. The individual they expelled actually owns the complete franchise and every salary within it. The entryway of Maison Elise, the city's most ostentatious boutique, wasn't constructed for human beings. It was constructed for assessment. Crystal illumination descended like frigid celestial bodies. Display figures positioned themselves like aristocracy. Shoppers moved through corridors as though affluence was woven into their genetic code. Darius Cole walked inside wearing uncomplicated clothing, presentable, yet not extravagant. No apparent standing, no luxury brand labels, broadcasting privilege. Merely understated bearing, the variety that genuine authority never requires to proclaim. However, in this establishment, quietness appeared like fragility. A retail clerk named Ruby noticed him and rolled eyes with such force they nearly detached. She murmured audibly to a colleague, "Disoriented, jobless, incorrect, district, perhaps." Mockery ensued. Darius disregarded them, moving toward an exhibition of premium timepieces. He appreciated the artistry, the mechanics. The man of time itself submitted to such elegance. Then a palm slapped his wrist aside. The establishment proprietor, Gregory Hale, positioned himself mere inches from his countenance, revulsion distorting his features. "You don't handle what you cannot purchase," he declared. "These aren't intended for individuals like yourself." Canius maintained his composure. "I prefer to examine that particular one." Gregory erupted into derisive amusement. "Listen to that. He desires to examine it. Do you wish to inhale the currency? You'll never possess it either." K-Trans chuckled, capturing the incident. "And what reason brings you here?" Gregory challenged. "Searching for something to pilfer." Security personnel were already encircling, prepared to extract a difficulty they fabricated. Darius preserved his poise. "I'm curious about your enterprise." "That's everything." "Oh," Gregory mocked, gesturing his hands theatrically. "He's curious about our enterprise." Security removed this refuse before he humiliates himself additionally. A guard seized Darius by the limb. "You're committing an error," Darius cautioned. Gregory's smirk intensified. "No, the error is you believing you have any place within 10 miles of this location." He propelled the entrance open dramatically and signaled for the guard to eject him outside. Mobile devices continued documenting. Degradation immortalized. Following morning, executive offices. Darius entered an enormous conference chamber. No amusement present. An immense display projected his identity. Darius Cole, controlling shareholder, Empire Holdings, proprietor of Maison Elise retail franchise. Corporate officers stood in quietness, anxious, compliant. A woman in a precise suit articulated carefully, "Sir, we examined all occurrence recordings from the previous day. It's severe, extremely severe." Darius occupied the leadership position at the surface. He didn't elevate his tone. He didn't require to. "It's the moment to purify my establishment," he declared. Maison Elise, 60 minutes afterward, every staff member was called to the retail area. Bewilderment, murmurs, apprehension. Cameras deactivated this occasion. The establishment entrance opened. Darius Cole entered. The identical personnel that derided him the preceding day turned ashen. The atmosphere extracted from their arrogance. Gregory Hale advanced awkwardly, artificial grin quivering. "Sir, greetings to Maison Elise. We are privileged." Darius elevated his palm. Quietness, absolute. "The previous day," he initiated. You've demonstrated to me precisely your character when you assumed nobody significant was observing. Gregory swallowed. I misinterpreted. You didn't misinterpret, Ras amended. You assessed me. You degraded me. You instructed everyone present that brutality is your identity. Ruby gazed at the surface, countenance emptied. Darius rotated toward the assembled personnel and clientele. This establishment takes satisfaction in opulence. Yet, what constitutes opulence, absent humanity? What constitutes affluence, absent consideration? Nobody ventured to inhale. He confronted Gregory once more. You regarded a black individual with disdain because you presumed he possessed nothing. Gregory attempted to grin. We regard all visitors uniformly. Darius interrupted him. Security, he ordered. Extract him. A precise directive Gregory utilized the previous day. Transmitted with complete supremacy, security approached their previous supervisor. Gregory descended to his knees. Please, this establishment is my existence. Darius leaned forward, vision unwavering. In the previous day, you determined you possessed the authority to annihilate mine. Security dragged Gregory away through the identical entrance he previously propelled open. Patrons gasped. Personnel observed Darius like a natural phenomenon. Darius addressed the chamber. This establishment is presently experiencing reconstruction. Not the structure, the philosophy, he indicated at Ruby. You chuckled the most audibly. You documented degradation like amusement. He halted. You terminated. Weeping erupted. She crumbled, pleading for additional opportunity. Darius didn't glance twice. He approached a young clerk who had anxiously murmured, "Perhaps we shouldn't," before being quieted. "What's your identity?" Darius inquired. "Jordan," he murmured, astonished. "You're presently the establishment supervisor," Darius proclaimed, "because you exhibited humanity when others maintained arrogance." Applause emerged. Authentic, not compelled. Darius ascended onto a presentation platform like a commander addressing a populace. This franchise will no longer function on superiority. No additional profiling. No additional brutality. Opulence commences with respect. He secured visual contact with every remaining staff member. If you cannot regard every human being with consideration, there exists no position for you, present or in this reality. The assembly sensed the transformation. Authority acquired and incontestable. Darius proceeded toward the departure, abandoning a tempest of change behind him. As he arrived at the entrance, he glanced backward once and declared, "When you encountered a stranger, recall you might be observing your supervisor." He departed. The individual they expelled